Hey hair queens, and welcome to this video about implementing certain methods into your topper life to help minimize the likelihood of traction alopecia or creating bald spots because of using the clips on toppers. Now, by no means am I saying that by using these methods, it'll completely stop or, it won't cause bald spots, but unfortunately, the reality is we as topper wearers probably have delicate or weak scalp and follicles. So us clipping in the same spot every day isn't probably the best practice. But by doing these methods, we'll at least slow it down or minimize the likelihood. Because I know it is important to me, and it's probably important to many others, to try to hold on to as much hair as possible, even though we have this glorious hair with toppers. Now, when people ask me, have you had more hair loss because of toppers? My answer is it's really hard to know or pinpoint, but it's really hard for me to imagine that I was walking around with just my bio hair. So I think that yes, in the year and a half that I've worn toppers, I have had more loss, but it's hard to say if it's because of the clips from the toppers or if it's actually just my hair was naturally progressing in that direction anyways. But like I said, it's really important for me to have my bio hair as healthy as possible still. I'm not neglecting it. I will say that prior to having toppers, I would straighten my hair and blow dry it probably 3 to 4, maybe sometimes more times a week, because I was just trying to make it look as good as possible for what I had. But now that I've worn toppers, I swear it's been like probably 2 months since I've blow dried or even straighten my hair, my bio hair. So I'm really grateful for that. I feel like my hair is thanking me. So I feel like I would never have with whatever shampoo, pill, topical ointment, I don't think I would ever in my whole entire life have hair as good as this ever again. So I am very thankful for it, and this is the direction I'm going. And I feel like if I have further bio hair loss, I feel like that is a decision I have coped with, or a decision I've made, and I feel like I've coped with it, and I feel like I've come to peace with that reality. And I feel like that's really an important thing that I did for myself, and in deciding to wear the toppers and knowing the possible outcome of further hair loss because of the clips. Now, in saying all that, let's get into the methods or the things that I do to try to minimize that. The first thing I'm going to get into, and I'll show you how it looks underneath the cap, is I applied more clips around the perimeter of the cap. You can see underneath. Okay, so I applied more clips to make sure that the whole perimeter is lined. And by lining the whole perimeter, then I can daily rotate the clips I use. So one day I will use this front clip, then this bottom clip, and then these 2 clips here. And then when I'm done using it for the day, I'll put it on my canvas wig head, and then I will leave the clips open. So then the next morning I say, oh, okay, yesterday I used these 4. So instead, today, the next day I'll use this one and another one on this side. So I'm basically rotating the 4 I use. And I feel like that, helps rotate it and gives each part of my scalp a break each day. Another thing I do is using the right amount of clips. Now, some people decide to use the whole thing for the reason I just explained. That's not for me, but also you don't want to use too little clips. Like, let's say I decided to use this front one and this back one. Of course, it depends on how much hair you have, the amount of stress your scalp can take. I mean, mine is a really long piece, so I feel like for me, it's good to wear 4 clips a day. So like I said, I do 1, 2, 3, 4. But I feel like if I try to do 1 and 2, just 2 a day, I feel like you're really creating stress on those 2 points. And I feel like that's not really benefiting your scalp. You're creating tension in those 2 spots. And I feel like, okay, then tomorrow I'll switch to these 2 here. But again, I feel like you're making it really stressful for those specific points. And by me using 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, all across from each other, I'm evenly dispersing the weight, which really helps, I think, not put too much stress on one certain part. Now, going off of that, I feel like the second tip I have is to really be intentional with the way you clip. I feel like the front and the sides is always no problem clipping. You know, I'm clipping. It's very intentional, very well done. But as of recently, I realized that I wasn't really paying attention to the way that I clipped the back clip. So I would put my topper on, and so I do like a good scoop, so that's pretty secure. And then the sides, of course, you know, pretty easy. It's pretty close up front. But when I would go to the back, I think I would just not really be intentional with the way I did it, and it wouldn't grab enough hair. Now, the way I discovered this was, now that we have like winter in Chicago, there's the jackets and the scarves, and I feel like it has really helped me to help eliminate tangle and just a lot of static and the hair going kind of crazy, to get one of these like creaseless hair ties and tie my hair up when I put my jacket and scarf on in a low, loose ponytail. And when I would get to work, I was like, oh, actually, I kind of like this. It's out of the way, it's cute. But then I started realizing that my head would get like tension or stressed out, and it get kind of sore. And I'd be like, wow, my hair, maybe because it goes, I don't ever feel stress or soreness when I leave all my hair down, but I feel like maybe that's because it's all evenly distributed, the weight. But now that I'm grabbing it and doing something that my scalp isn't used to, centering the weight into one area, maybe that's why it felt sore. And I did start feeling like, I noticed my part line would kind of shift to the right a little bit, and I was just like, okay, something's not right. Maybe my scalp has to get used to it. But then when I was taking it off, I realized the back wasn't clipped very well. It was like only like a few hairs. And when I realized that, I was like, whoa, big mistake. And I went in and I made sure I like clipped well and intentionally. And I know everyone's saying, oh my God, that's so obvious, clip it well. But I mean, I was a topper wearer for quite a while, and that just went over my head. I wasn't paying attention. And in doing that, I noticed that my side ponies would not move, my hair or my scalp was no longer stressed. So that is my second tip, super simple, but super necessary. Now, my third tip is going to be about to create the ability for your clips on the topper to stay better. Now, I've heard that some people like using mousse, some people like using hair fibers because they're filling in the front anyways. Some people are even use hairspray. I like using dry shampoo, and I like this dry shampoo because it has a pleasant smell, and it's also sulfate and paraben free, which I'm just trying to keep it as natural and healthy as possible up, and not just this area, just like all over my body. So I really did enjoy this. It's by Hosk, the charcoal with citrus, and I really recommend it. So what I do is I spray in the 4 areas that I know that I'm going to have the clips in. So one is the front, and then the side, and then the back. And then that just creates a little more grab for the topper, especially if I have like freshly washed hair. I could tell it doesn't grab as well. But once I have like day 2, day 3 hair, I'm able to put a little less dry shampoo, and like it's perfectly fine. The next tip is the way you part your hair. Now, I definitely do have significant hair loss, so I need to make sure that I have enough hair in the area that it's going to be clipped. I usually part my hair to the side, and that's how I always used to do it. But if I do this, then I'm taking away hair from the right, which there's a clip there. So what I do is I still part my hair like this because I want it to be trained that way for when I don't have bangs, and I really use this front hair to blend my toppers. So I keep it this way in the front, but then when I get to the back over here, I kind of just center that part just so it has more hair on the right side, so the clip can easily grab there. And I feel like, again, it's all about distributing, you know, the weight, distributing my hair to make sure everything is just like evenly grabbing everywhere. My final tip, which is the one I'm super excited about, is wig grips. Now, I was starting to consider wigs earlier in the game because I was like, all right, using all these clips and the toppers, and I feel like it's possible that it's creating, making my hair situation worse with all the clips. And I heard that with wigs, you can use a wig grip, or there's like those, you wear like the cap, so you're not directly like attaching clips to your hair. It has those straps, so you don't have to worry about it. But that is going to be like Gen 2.0. That's actually why I changed my name from Hair Toppers with Jen to I wear crown hair, because I'm not limiting myself to just toppers. But back to this wig grip. So I bought one. I know there's like name brand ones, but I bought one off of Amazon. I think it was like 10 bucks or so. And I am surprised that I actually like the way this works. Now, I haven't worn this every day all the time. I wear it specifically, especially when I'm at home, because I live with roommates. They know about my hair loss. I sometimes walk around like this, but I feel like myself, I just like the way I feel better in my topper wherever I am. So wearing my topper in the house, it kind of sucked, because I'm like, okay, I'm not going out in the world. I feel comfortable at home, but I'm still wearing my topper, meaning I still have these clips that are grabbing at my hair, which I feel like when you're home, let's just have our time off, So the wig grip is an awesome answer for this. So I go ahead and where the tag is right here, it's supposed to be by the right of your right ear. So I put it to pretty much to the front, pretty close to the front. And then it has Velcro in the back. And I just kind of Velcro it, not too tight. And then I bring it back to behind my ears because I don't want it blocking my ears. And then it is awesome because I just use the front clip. So I'm closing the rest of the clips and I'm just grabbing the front clip. And what it's going to do is it's going to scoop the bottom of the wig grip only. So you're not really grabbing any hair. So I'm going to grab just the wig grip. This little shimming that has to happen here. Okay, I make sure my part is straight. Just kind of shove it back a little bit if it needs to go back more. At this point I can close it a little more back. Awesome. And it stays pretty secure. Like I'm not about to go play sports just like that, but look at the way you can't even see the wig grip. And when I had a smaller cap, so there wasn't as much hair, I felt like you could kind of sometimes see the wig grip, or especially like the tag here. But now that this topper has more hair, I feel like I don't have to worry about that as much. But yeah, I'm just at home and I put that on, the wig grip followed by the topper, and there's zero tension on my scalp / follicles. And I'm pretty sure you can't see it. And since I'm at home, if my roommates were to be able to get a peek of it or something, like I really don't care, because like I said, I'm really comfortable with them and they know, like even before I made this video, my roommate's like, oh, what are you gonna do? And I told him like, I'm gonna make a video about minimizing tension on your scalp, which I feel like is super important to me. And he's like, dude, that's awesome. So, I mean, if you were to like, of course you'll see it, but otherwise you don't see it. And I feel like this is, it being in a side pony, it's just like kind of like suctioning onto your head. So I feel like I would definitely be comfortable going like this to work, and I feel like you just don't see it. And it helps that I have a black one because it's the color of my hair. And again, if you were to get a peek of it, like I don't even care because I'm at home. But the more comfortable I get with this, the more I'm gonna go out like to work for a casual day with it on. And I did used to clip the very back clip when I first started trying this out, but then after a while I'm like, I don't think I even need the back clip. So yeah, super comfortable, not creating any tension. Wig Grip. God, I gotta practice saying that. The Wig Grip is pretty cheap. I will leave a link for the one I got in the description box below. But yeah, I feel like it's super comfortable, and I mean, we got to be looking out for not just our alternative hair, but we need to be looking out for our scalp, for our bodies, all around, for our bio hair. So go ahead and give it a try. I hope it works for you. And if you have any tips on like what you do to help minimize like tension or pulling, or minimize the likelihood of traction alopecia or creating more bald spots, please let me know in the comments. I know I definitely want to know, and I know definitely the community wants to know.
So after filming that, I felt a little inspired and went ahead and wore the wig grip with one clip to work. And this week I had my hair crimped, so I feel like that extra volume helped hide the wig grip even more. But as you can see, as I'm like moving the sides up to show you, you can really see it. And I feel like it was comfortable. After about a day, I think I kind of started feeling it, but it's like wearing something for the first time on your head, like a headband or something. You kind of feel it, but you just have to make sure that it is properly secured, not too tight, not too loose. And again, I'm wearing it in a pony to help kind of suction it to the head. As I did when working out, I feel like if I didn't have it in a pony, I would not have just one clip on there because I don't think it would be as secure as if it was a side pony with one clip. The white label against the black hair is potentially noticeable, so I got the idea to color it in with a Sharpie, but then I realized that shit started smelling real quick. So when I was looking at it, I was like, oh my god, I took a sewing class recently, I can just remove the stitches. So that's exactly what I did, and it came off really easily. You'll just have to remember where the label was to make sure you wear the grip in the right position, because that's the only way it'll function properly. As I was filming this, I remembered some people have talked about using clear fishing line. I have not used it myself. Let me know if you have and your experience with it.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Jen from Chicago. Don't forget, we are fierce, knowledgeable, and taking control. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.